Welcome back guys to another video. Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now I've been a bit quiet on the video front lately. I've just been a little bit busy. However, I've just made a few changes in the garage here. So there used to be a workbench over there. I've now moved the Mirage under this area here. After making the move and moving the bits and pieces, cabinets out the way and that, I found some staining on the floor here, and there was some wall lining up on the framing here which I've ripped off, and found that we've got a whole lot of rot on this bottom plate of this garage framing. So this video we're going to make a repair. We're going to fix all this rot here, and hopefully this will be a success. You right there, Dyalla? So the first thing we need to do is just get rid of the car. We'll need to move this car back outside again, and we'll just move the Mirage back into this space, and we'll just make a bit of workable room here, and yeah, we'll get started. Alrighty, welcome back. So I've just removed the wall lining just on this part of the wall here. I just noticed there was a little bit of a stain there, but probably a little bit of moisture's come through. You can see a little bit of mold growth on this building paper here, but the bottom plate here seems pretty good. So if we're just moving along here, you can see this is rotted out here. So we're going to have to replace probably up to this end here. You can see we've got more rot just down here, so that's pretty bad. So we'll have to replace all along here. You see all that soft rot there. And then if we look down here, we'll just replace up to this stud. Now just looking along this part of the garage wall, unfortunately, I've built this workbench into the wall itself, so it's not going to be an easy one to remove. But I've checked along the floor here, and I can't seem to see any water staining. And just down this cavity here, I've also poked a screwdriver down and just checked the timber bottom plate, and there doesn't appear to be any rot just in that part of the structure. Alrighty, so these are all the tools here that we're going to use on this job. So we've got a nail gun, multi-tool, impact driver, got damp proof course there, that's the separation layer between the timber and the concrete floor. Got a angle grinder with a cutting disc on it. We'll be using that to cut through a little bit of rebar that's holding the bottom plate down. We've also got some PPE over there. We've got a drop saw, and I've also got two porta powers. Now the reason why I've got those is we've got a mezzanine floor above us here, and we're just probably going to brace this mezzanine floor here, because once we remove this bottom plate here, there's going to be a lot of downward pressure on these studs here. So I'm going to prop the mezzanine floor area up just with the porta powers. Now a builder's vertical screw prop would probably be better than using porta powers, but I was able to borrow these off a friend of mine. These are hydraulic, so the thing with hydraulic is they can lose pressure, but in this instance I think we'll be fine. Okay, well we'll get these props up and we'll make a start. Okay, now that we've got our props up here, We'll make a start and remove this bottom plate. Now I'm just going to draw a line here, and we're just going to take the multi-tool and just cut along this piece of timber here. I'm just going to work along this bottom plate with the multi-tool and just cut the bottom plate timber just into small bits so I can remove it from the framing. Alrighty, so we're getting there. I've removed the timber rotted out bottom plate that was just down here, just up to that point there, and we've just got a little piece here to remove and finish off. I'm also thinking that I'm going to remove the two bottom angle braces just down here. That'll allow me just to get on with the job a bit quicker, and I'll just replace it with timber. Okay, we'll carry on. We'll get into this little piece here, and then we can clean up and install a new timber bottom plate. Okay, so we've finished cleaning up down here, and we're just going to measure up here now just for a new piece of timber for the new bottom plate. Before fixing the timber to the concrete, we're going to fit the damp-proof course to the bottom of the timber. This is designed as a separation layer to prevent moisture transfer between the concrete floor and our timber. Now this piece of timber is just a piece of leftover from an outdoor project, and it's actually an outdoor rated timber. So it's rated at H3.2, which means it can be exposed to weather. However, it can't be used in ground, and it can't be used in this environment, for example, where water's coming in and it's just sitting in that dampness. So what we need to do is rectify the damp issue, but what we'll do first is we're just going to fix this piece of timber to the concrete itself. Alrighty, so we've replaced the rotten piece of timber bottom plate, and we've put in a new piece of timber here. Now to anchor this piece of timber to the concrete floor here, what we're going to use are these masonry anchor bolts. Now these are 180 millimeters in length by 12 millimeters, and just looking at the specs online, these need to be anchored at a depth of 100 millimeters. Now to do that, we're going to use a masonry drill bit. So what we're going to do is drill in through this timber bottom plate and into the concrete here. So we need to work out what our depth will be on our masonry drill. So we know we need to go into the concrete at 100 millimeters, and we just need to add on 45 for the thickness of this timber bottom plate here. So we'll just be marking out 145 millimeters on this masonry drill piece. Now before drilling, I'm just going to mark out where we're going to drill our hole. While drilling into the concrete, I'm pushing down onto the drill, applying pressure for a short time, then repeating, at the same time keeping the drill hole clean of dust using the vacuum cleaner. I've cut down a small section of timber here to tie the two bottom plate pieces together and using the nail gun to hold in place. Alrighty, onto the opposite side of our timber bottom plate. Same thing again, marking out where we're going to be putting our masonry anchor bolt. This piece of timber will be the start of my new angle bracing to replace the metal bracing I removed earlier. Right, we're just about there. I'm just going to cut this sheet of wall lining down and just fill in this gap here. Then I'm just going to add in some additional stud supports just for this mezzanine floor. I'll just attach those to the bottom plate there. I just need to get some plywood ordered and I'll reline this wall and that'll be a job done for now. Time to measure up some timber for my new stud supports. I'll be using these to screw a new mezzanine support beam in place. These are my new timber angle pieces to replace the metal ones I removed earlier. With the framing repair completed, I can now remove the porta-powers I used to prop up the mezzanine floor. The extra timber at the top left hand side has been added for fixing a TV mount to the wall. I'm going to use 12mm thick ply to line the walls in this section of the garage. Time to cut out a angled piece of plywood to go by the ladder to the mezzanine floor. Alrighty, so the ply is all up. That's a good job out the way. What I'm going to do now is just put some primer up on this ply. And I'm just going to paint the wall just so it matches the other part of this back area of the garage here. Firstly, starting off with cutting in the primer before rolling the primer coat onto the wall. This primer has good coverage on the plywood, so I just needed to roll one coat. Alrighty, so the undercoating's all done along here, and I've just put a wee bit just down along on this wall. It's now time to paint the wall, and I was just looking for the original paint that I used on the sidewalls here originally when I painted the garage. Now I found the original can under the house, but it's looking a little bit worse for wear here, so I think there's a hole. Well, there's a hole forming just on the side there. I can just see it looks a bit damp. I'm just going to open this can up and just see what the condition of the paint's like, and see if we can sort of revive it. Well, this gives you an idea how old the paint is. So it was mixed on the 31st of October 2014, so it's pretty old. Okay, that's what the paint looks like on the inside. I'm going to give it a bit of a mix up. You can see the hole just on the side of the can there, but I'll just mix it up and just see what it looks like after a mix up. Don't really want to spend too much money just on paint, so this is only for the garage anyway, so we'll just see how this turns out. This paint's pretty much good to go. Hopefully we've got enough here. Even though this paint was old, it still looked good when applied to the wall. Getting there, so I've done the first coat and just onto the second coat now. You can see here though, I've missed a wee strip down there, so I might just quickly paint over that first and start over here, work this way, and hopefully by the time we get over there that little strip will be dry, and then that'll be a job done. Well, that's the second coat of paint done and dusted. You can see here the additional support I've added for the mezzanine floor.